Let me do something a little different today. I'm not going to give you a framework. I'm not going to give you a list. I'm not going to give you 5 tips and a quote and all this at the end. What I'm going to do right now on this video is walk you through exactly what I would do if you walked into a room and said, Coach Richard, I want to build a $2,000 offer or a $5,000 offer from my career. Where do we start? Assuming that is your question. I'm going to think out loud with you. I'm going to show you my actual process, the questions I would ask, the traps I would help you avoid, and the moment, and that's the part most people miss, the exact moment when something you've been doing for free at your job becomes something people line up to pay. So if you've ever sat at your desk thinking, I know I'm worth more than this salary, but I don't know how to turn what I know into a real offer, I want you to buckle in. Because in the next 10 minutes, this video is your free consultation. Yes, I mean it, free consultation. And very valuable. So let's get into it. Here is the conversation I have more than any other. Someone messages me, they have got 15, sometimes 20 years of experience, director level, senior manager. They've sat in boardrooms, run teams, fixed problems that would have broken the company if they hadn't been there. And they say, almost word for word, every time, Coach Richard, I know I'm good at what I do. I just don't know how to package it. Now, here's what I need you to understand from that statement. It reveals the exact problem, not a skill problem, not a hustle problem, not a confidence problem. It's a translation problem. They have value. The market wants that value. But there is a bridge between that two. And right now, their employer is the bridge. The employer is keeping all the toll money. When you pass through the bridge, you pay the toll money, right? So the employer keeps all that toll money. And in statistics, which is where I started before I stepped into coaching, we had a concept called signal and noise. The signal is the truth in the data. The noise is everything else that's obscuring it. When I work with a professional to build an offer, my job in phase 1 is to cut through the noise and find the signal. Because the signal, which is your sellable skill, your real IP, it's already there. It's buried under years of job descriptions and performance reviews and other people's agencies. So before we build anything, we must find the signal. All right, so you've just sat down with me. You've told me what you do. Now, here's the first question I ask every single client. And this question tends to make people uncomfortable in the most productive way. I ask, what problem do people come to you for? Not your company, not your department, but you personally, that they can't seem to solve on their own. I want you to pause the video right now, or at least pause in your mind, and actually answer that question, because what comes up for you in the next 30 seconds is the beginning of your offer. Yes, what is coming to your mind right now? Let me show you how this plays out in real life. So I have this client, a CPA, Director of Finance at a global health organization, over 18 years of experience in managing complex donor-funded portfolios across multiple countries. When she came to me, she didn't come in thinking, I want to sell financial coaching. She came in like most professionals do, competent, accomplished, and completely unable to see her own value clearly. So I started asking those extraction questions. What do colleagues ask you for? What problems land on your desk that weren't in your job description? What do you fix that no one else seems to know how to fix? And what surfaced was her real signal. What her real signal was this. Non-profit leaders were drowning in messy, inaccurate, board unreadable financial reports. And so she could see the problem, diagnose it, and fix it in a way that 18 years of financial work had uniquely equipped her to do. That's not a generic skill. That's a gift. And once named properly, we built an offer, the Financial Reporting Clarity Insight Program. And she was off. Yes, to the market. Now, here's what I want you to notice about what just happened. We didn't invent anything for her. We didn't manufacture a niche. We extracted it. We dug for it. And that is phase one. I call this the extraction phase because that's exactly what it is. You are not creating your skills from scratch. You are mining them. Think about it like gold mining. The gold was always in the ground. The question was always whether you had the right process to get it out. That's the question. So, extraction phase summary. Number one, find the specific problem you personally solve. Number two, name it precisely. And number three, identify who has the problem urgently. Okay, so we found the signal. We know the problem you solve. Now, here's where most professionals, even the ones who have figured out phase one, fall apart. They take that skill and they price it like an employee. They say, well, my hourly rate at work is about this, so I charge that. Oh, this is what I seem to see people doing. Let me also charge. Or they undercharge because they feel guilty. Or they overbuild. They create a 12 model course that takes 9 months or a degree to navigate. When what the client actually needed was a focused, specific engagement that gets from point A to point B. You know what this reminds me? There is a scene in Good Will Hunting, one of my favorite films, when Robin Williams' character, Dr. Marguerite, is talking to Will, the genius kid from South Boston who can solve any problem but refuses to do it anyway with his gift. And Dr. Marguerite says something that cuts right through Will's defenses. He says, "You are not perfect, and let me save you the suspense. This girl you have met, she isn't perfect either. But the question is whether or not you are perfect to each other." Now, here's why I love that for this conversation. Your offer doesn't have to be perfect for everyone. It has to be perfect for the one specific person with one specific problem. And when you build it that way, structured, specific, priced for the value it delivers, magic happens. I have another client, Catherine Mahome, co-founder and president of the African Insurance Women Association. FCII qualified. That's the highest professional qualification in insurance globally. Over 2 decades in the industry, CEO of her own insurance brokerage. Here's the thing about Catherine. She had a room full of credibility. You see, but credibility without packaging is like having a championship trophy in a box in your garage. No one knows it's there. So here's what we did in phase 2. We asked 3 packaging questions. Who is the exact person with this exact problem? Not like professionals. I want you to be surgical. The next question, what does life look like for them after they have worked with you? What's the specific result? And the other question, how do you deliver this in a way that respects your life as a busy professional and gives the client a premium experience? For Catherine, those answers built her Insurance Leadership Accelerator, a program for insurance professionals looking to move into senior leadership. Priced appropriately for the transformation, delivered in a way she can run without cloning herself. Now that's packaging. That is phase 2. Now, let me tell you the number one packaging mistake I see. And this is the one that will quietly kill an offer before it ever makes a dollar. People price their time instead of pricing the transformation. Let me repeat that again. People price their time instead of pricing the transformation. If I help you restructure your financial reports so your board doesn't question your competence in the next quarterly meeting, that's not worth my hourly rate. That's what the salary increase you are protected from losing. That's what the grant renewal that doesn't fall through. That's what the career you just saved. So price the transformation always. Earlier, I told you there was a moment, a specific moment, when something you've been doing for free becomes something people pay for. Let me close that loop right now. In 2013, I was a statistics student in Uganda. Here, somebody invited me to a paid business breakfast. The guest was Dr. Miles Monroe. The ticket cost 150,000 Ugandan shillings, the equivalent of about $100 then. That was not small money for a university student. I paid it anyway. And that day, Dr. Mundro said something I have never forgotten. He said, the wealthiest place on earth is not the oil fields of Iran or the gold mines of South Africa. The wealthiest place on earth is the graveyard, because there you will find books that were never written, businesses that were never built, inventions that were never invented. He was talking about people who went to their graves without ever packaging and releasing the value inside them. That moment changed me, not instantly, but permanently. And this is the moment I want to create for you in this video, because you see, the shift, the moment when your skills become an offer, is not technical moment. It's not when you write a sales page or set a price. It's when you finally decide that what you know is worth something. That decision comes before the framework. It comes before phase 1 and phase 2. And until that decision is made, really made, no framework will save you. So let me ask you directly, have you made that decision? Yes, I'm talking to you right now. Have you made that decision? Because once you have, the rest is just engineering. And I love engineering. So let me give you a few more snapshots of what this process actually produces. Ruth Wangui, CPA, CPHR, and Human Resource Manager, the public institution, came through our King's Court and built an offer helping burned out corporate professionals find work that actually aligns with who they are. She took 10 years of HR expertise and turned it into a coaching practice that speaks directly to the internal pain she had watched professionals carry for decades. Catherine Ochako, former head of technology, didn't come to me with a comfortable corporate story. She came to me after being fired, after having her world shaken. And from that experience, she built the Comeback Code, a coaching framework for women navigating betrayal, dismissal, and shame back into clarity and strength. She turned her worst chapter into her most powerful offer. Now, here's what I want you to notice. Whether Rose is a financial professional, Catherine is an insurance executive, Ruth is an HR, the other Catherine Ochako is from tech, all different industries, all different backgrounds, all different offers, but one process. The two-phase offer builder works because it doesn't manufacture an offer, it reveals one. And that the offer it reveals is always built on something real, something you've already earned the right to deliver. So here's where we are. You now know what phase 1 looks like. You know what phase 2 looks like. You've seen the questions I ask. You've seen the traps I watch for. You've seen real professionals who sat exactly where you are sitting and now have offers in the market. Now, what happens if we actually worked together? In my King's Court Premium Coaching, I don't hand you a template and wish you luck. I sit down with you exactly like I walked you through today, and we do this for real. Your background, your skills, your specific market, we extract it, we package it, and we build something you can actually put in front of people. Not someday, not when you have more time, not when you feel more ready. Now, today, if you are ready to find out what that looks like for your specific situation, the link to join me for a live Tuesday workshop is in the description below. It's a call, no pressure, no pitch theater, just a real conversation about where you are and show you how the two-step process works out for someone like you. And if this video gave you something, I want you to subscribe if you've not yet. And leave a comment below telling me what skill you'd build your first offer around. I read every single one of it because the answer you type right now might be the beginning of everything. I am Coach Richard Olowo, and in this channel of mine, I help professionals stop being kept and start being compensated. I will see you in the next one.